All right. Oh, okay. Oh gosh. I hope I'm not muted. Can't tell where my volume is. Hi all, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Oh good, and
Yes.
I can hear you. Okay, great. All right. Let's see. There's Nicole. Okay.
My name's not right in there. I'm gonna chat to you.
Okay. If I look a little strange during this call, it's only because I am trying to share this screen while looking at you on this screen, and I'm really hoping that it works okay. Do you see right now the volunteer training slide?
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Okay. Okay, great. We have, let's see, we've got 18 of you, not bad. And we are recording this training as per usual. So um, we'll put it on our volunteer page as soon as it allows me to upload, which does sometimes take a while. I need to change my name. Oh, hi, Margaret. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so we'll get started. If any of you have attended these trainings before, and I know that at least some of you have, you'll know that I have a goal now as of last year of trying to keep these things under an hour because I know that I am a talker and I am going to try not to do that so that you have the ability to enjoy your evenings. There we go. Oh, Vicky, yay, okay. All right. Are you in so you can admit people? Okay, great. I'm going to stop looking at it then. So, just a quick intro. My name is Lauren Bird. I am our special events supervisor for the City of San Carlos Parks and Recreation Department.
I'm Shannon Peterson, and I'm the recreation coordinator for special events.
So, you've doubtless seen our names in your email inboxes quite a lot. Penrose, awesome logo in your photo, by the way. Uh, so, and again, I know that many of you have worked this event before, have attended this event before. Some of you were on the Hometown Days committee and have been doing this for many more years than we have. This is the 44th year of Hometown Days. If we count the jump over of a couple years during the unprecedented times that we all remember so well. So prior to the pandemic, the final Hometown Days hosted by the Hometown Days Committee was in 2019. Unfortunately, was rained out on the second day, so it did not have the chance to really end on the best of notes, and that was right before the 40th anniversary, of course. So we stepped in, the city of San Carlos rather stepped in before I showed up in 2022 to work with the committee to be able to basically bring this event back. And so now we have our 44th year of Hometown Days. So Hometown Days, for those of you who are maybe not as familiar, is one of our two biggest events of the year. We have Hometown Days in May, the Art and Wine Fair in October, and those are the two events that really allow us to reach out into the community as a whole. We have a number of smaller events throughout the year, which we love very much. Hometown Days is our biggest San Carlos based event, and we really, really, really try to highlight San Carlos based organizations, make it fun for those of us who live here. We're kind of treating it as like a backyard party for the entire city, since Burton Park is kind of San Carlos's backyard as is, versus the Art and Wine Fair, which is basically San Carlos's entire town. Sarah McDowell, Councilmember Sarah McDowell jokes that Laurel Street is San Carlos's living room. So the Art and Wine Fair is kind of the living room party with your friends versus this Hometown Days fun backyard event. So we have 3 days now. As of last year, for our centennial year, we were able to expand the weekend into Friday in a bigger sense. SCEF, the San Carlos Education Foundation, has always kind of kicked off the weekend with a student concert on Friday night at the Burton Park stage. And as of last year, we were able to bring the rides in early, a lot of the booths, a lot of the food vendors early. So we really get to start the whole event Friday at 4. And it runs through Sunday at 5 o'clock. So, no further ado, let's roll into what your weekend will look like. Maybe, if I can do this correctly. There we go.
Okay. I'm going to talk about just 2 new things first that are new to this year. San Carlos Charter Derby is going to be coming to Hometown Days. It's going to be taking place right after the parade on Saturday. And then we are introducing the Aperol Spritz back to Hometown Days after the first time we did it at Art and Wine. And that is not going to be a volunteer ran thing. We have bartenders that will be managing that. The Madsen Beer Garden corner captain will be responsible, though, for doing all the supplies checks, same as if they're doing beer and wine. And then we'll get started with the map. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this year is going to be relatively the same as last year. There's no major changes to the footprint. And now that I changed my thing. So up at the top, we are still going to be having the fun run taking place at Central Middle School. That's going to be on Sunday. And if you come down a little bit further, we have Burton Park stage. We have full activities planned over there. Stage is completely booked. If you keep coming down, we'll have the bike corral on the tennis courts. If you keep going down even further, we're going to have all of the rides and attractions. Again, this year, they're going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for all of the hours. And Madsen Field stage will be up there as well. Mercy and the Heartbeats will be coming out 6 p.m. on Friday after SCEF, which will be exciting. And beer and wine sales, that's where our second beer and wine garden is going to be at the top. The first one is going to be across from Burton Park stage as well. So the Aperol Spritz booth is going to be in this Madsen beer garden on the main field. We will also have the 1 ticket booth that is on the field. All tickets need to be purchased there, which will be located in the middle. And then same for everything else. We have the games, the sponsors, the marketplace, and the community groups that are going to be spread out throughout all of the grass. And we do have a little bit of a different setup this year that we're hoping works out.
By setup, she means the location of the booths. We've kind of been playing with this over the last few years, trying to find a sweet spot of mixing booths together so that everybody has a chance to be seen. We know that it can sometimes be difficult for booths that are just putting information out there, and we want to make sure that our local nonprofits especially get the shine that they deserve. So we're mixing marketplace and information booths together with some of our game booths, but we really do want to keep the games kind of concentrated together this year, just to keep lines from interfering with other booths. So we'll see how this goes. Every year has been a little bit of an experiment, so we shall see. When you get to Hometown Days, those of you who are veterans will know that parking is tough. Those of you who have lived in San Carlos for more than 5 minutes will know that parking generally in San Carlos is tough. And Hometown Days, really, we try our best to make it as difficult as possible, unfortunately. So the entirety of Burton Park, from Cedar to Britton to Woodland, this is all blocked off during the event. And of course, because our food court is here on Chestnut Street, Chestnut is also blocked off. So parking is going to be a little bit tough. We recommend arriving early if you can. Park at a friend's house, walk in, bike in. If you do choose to bike or skateboard or anything else on wheels, even e-bikes, San Carlos Bikes is hosting their bike corral here on the tennis courts again. They do a fantastic job We'll have bike locks available if you don't have one. So please take advantage and just recognize that you may need to allow for some walking. The reasoning behind this parking, I know it's a question every year of we're volunteers, why can't we park outside where the vendors park? And that's really just because we have so many vendors. So in the mornings, we really emphasize that this area should be used for load-in purposes only. We're trying to cycle vendors out every 15 minutes at most. And after the event begins, we'll open it up for parking, but that does fill up fairly quickly. So I would plan to do a little bit of walking. You want to wear comfortable clothing and closed-toed shoes all weekend, no matter what. You have the ability to change if you would like. You can always leave clothes, extra shoes with us if you are doing an early shift and you want to change so that you can relax and enjoy the rest of your day. That's absolutely fine. But while you are volunteering, we ask for closed-toed shoes. You will check in for your shift, ideally a little bit early, although of course we recognize again, it can be tough to get in. So the earliest possible, come check in with us at the information booth. We'll have staff at the information booth, and by staff I mean volunteers. Occasionally staff as well at our info booth who will hand you a t-shirt. They will hand you a blue lanyard that says event crew on the front and it has emergency phone numbers on the back. And you will be sent on your way. If you have volunteered for Hometown Days before and you have a red shirt already, great, wear it. If you want a new shirt, by all means take a new shirt, but we have only a limited number. So if you have an older shirt that you love, awesome. If it's from Centennial Year, so cool. If it's from the 40th anniversary, also amazing. Vicky, I know you have the cool V-necks, so please wear whatever you're comfortable in.
Okay.
But we and then when you are, well, sorry, pardon, if you're a corner captain, I don't know that we have corner captains on this call that I have seen, but since we're recording, corner captains will be given a radio at the very beginning of the days when we're doing vendor load-in. Oftentimes, because the field is honestly so large, we'll give out radios to our volunteer vendor assistants as well. So radios will be inside the youth center in the art room. We'll walk you back when you arrive. Any questions so far? Great. When you're done with your shift, please bring your radio back. We have numbers on those and we treat them like gold. So please bring your radio back. Please also bring your lanyard back, although it's a slightly lower stakes situation. If you're wearing a lanyard, people will ask you questions. So if you don't want to be asked questions all day, give us your lanyard back, please. And then enjoy the rest of your day. Shannon mentioned the spritz booth earlier. Please enjoy a spritz poured by someone who we are paying to be there to make sure that we have spritzes poured without having to do too much work on the volunteer end. Please enjoy your day. Our bands are wonderful. Our students run booths are amazing. Our nonprofit booths are fantastic. So stay. We have long days. Let's see. Vendor load-in volunteers. I believe we have a couple vendor load-in volunteers on this call, and I cannot appreciate that more. We always need more help with volunteer load-in, with vendor load-in rather. So if you are feeling generous and you want to join us either on Friday from 2 to 4 or early Saturday morning starting at about 7 o'clock, 6:30 or 7, we'd love to have you join us so that you can help vendors. And by vendors, we mean marketplace vendors. We'll handle the big rides and games, but nonprofit game booth hosts, everybody needs a little bit of help finding their spot. We will have nice, big, very visible signs on the field this year, so we're hoping that helps. But it also is always appreciated. If you want to come hang out with us in the morning, we can guarantee you really great parking because no one else will be there, and maybe a cup of coffee. So join us in the morning if you want to come help volunteer or vendors load in. We have multiple vendor load-in stations. As I mentioned, these are limited in the mornings, or during load-in rather, uh, until the event begins. So we want to make sure that vendors, as they're coming in, are able to cart their materials in and pack up and leave and park somewhere else. We have very generously been given the opportunity to use the Arroyo School parking lot by Arroyo School. So this will be our kind of first choice for vendor parking, but it'll fill up fast. We have a lot of vendors, so first come, first serve. If you're an early vendor, great, you also get rewarded. The areas here on the field are pretty much consolidated at this point. When you're doing load in, you'll really only be focusing on this area of the field, unless we bring you over to do food with us, in which case you'll be here on Chestnut Street. The band loading zones 2 and 3 are specifically for band assistance volunteers, and I don't think we have any of those yet. So if you're interested in meeting a cool local band, all day long, we are cycling bands through in these particular areas. So let us know if you'd like to try one of those shifts. It's a fun time, and we have to be very protective of these parking areas in particular because of the frequency of band turnover. So we'd love some extra help if you are feeling up for it. Really, that's it. Vendor load-in and assistance volunteers are really not responsible for much in the way of manual labor. Our vendors have been given instructions for basically how to come onto the field, make sure that they have a cart. They are responsible for setting up their own table and their own canopy. If they need a little bit of extra help though, that's where we step in. Questions? Great. You want to talk about pouring?
Sure. All right, we have 2 beer gardens this year, as in the past, and we are going to be using, I just realized because I don't have a camera. If you've ever done it, we're going to have the green tokens again this year. They need to go up to the ticket. I'm going to say ticket, but they're going to go up to the square booth, and I'm going to call it that because that's the best way I can say it. And they're going to be purchasing a token, and then for our beer and wine pours, you must receive a token in order to get them a pour, and they will need to have an orange wristband on their wrist that says 21 and up. If they do not have a wristband on, they cannot have a pour. We do not do tastings, and I'm not going to forget that. A drink token, so they can get beer or wine or an Aperol Spritz, but the Aperol Spritz isn't for you guys to worry about, but if they want to know, that's what it is. Each pour is going to be $10, and they get free aluminum cups to use, and encourage them to reuse them so that we can save the earth one cup at a time.
Yes, and not run out.
Yes, that as well. Our wine pours are going to be 6 ounces, and then our pours of beer are going to be 12 ounces. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
No.
If you are all concerned about the 6-ounce pour situation, we have beautiful carafes that Shannon just re-upped. So we have plenty. You do not need to worry about mixing a varietal, especially if someone is very particular. You're not going to create a rosé for anyone. They will all have their own carafes, and you'll pour 6 ounces of wine each time. The reasoning also behind the no tasting, and also we'll get to this when we talk about token sales, but you can only, as a guest, purchase 2 tokens at a time. You can only get 2 pours at one time, and you cannot, I know it's frustrating, and you will get this question many times, you cannot pour tastes because it puts our ABC license at risk. The Parks and Recreation Foundation of St. Carlos goes through the process of applying for our ABC license every year. Well, a lot of times throughout the year. And the reason why we are able to keep hosting these events and serving beer and wine is because we are in very good standing with ABC. So pouring tastes, unfortunately, puts that at risk. And so does sending someone away from your station with more than 2 pours per person. Happy to answer any questions if you have any. But ABC is very strict in California, as they should be. So we want to make sure that we are abiding by those regulations.
We will also have the dates for in the case that it comes to you guys, but it should be being checked at the Square booth where they're purchasing their tokens. We'll have the dates marked of the ages for each day of when they can actually get their wristband, make sure they're 21, just in case.
Excuse me, quick question. If someone comes with 3 tokens and says that they're purchasing drinks for people that we can't see, can we fill it, or can we only fulfill 2 tokens per person?
You can only fulfill 2 tokens per person. Just ask them to grab a friend who also has a wristband on, and then you can send them away with it. Yeah.
Perfect, thank
Thank
you.
you for asking. All good?
Okay.
Corner captains. Can we do corner captains?
Sure.
Alrighty. Our corner captains are indispensable. We have only just recently, in the last maybe 2 years, started bringing in the concept of corner captains to Hometown Days because it works so beautifully at the Art and Wine Fair. What a corner captain does is act as a liaison between our pouring volunteers and staff who will help fulfill basically all of their needs. So if you find yourself as a pouring volunteer in need of ice, if you need an extra case of Chardonnay, if you're starting to run low, if your wine bottle opener breaks, if you are missing a carafe, if your beer tap is getting funky, you tell your corner captain, and your corner captain will let us know so that we can send a staff member to assist. For beer especially, I know that can be stressful sometimes for people because we are not all born with the skills of operating a tap system. Devil's Canyon Brewing Company will have staff on site for us to use as assistants, and they are so wonderful every year. So if you find that you're pouring a little bit of extra foam, tell your corner captain. They will send someone out to come and take a look at whatever you need, basically. We run a lot of ice over the weekend, a lot of Chardonnay on a hot day. So we are there to help, and your corner captain is there to be that person so that you can focus on what you're doing and you do not need to worry about where to get more wristbands if you need more wristbands, basically. Corner captains. You are also responsible for keeping an eye on guests. As we've mentioned, it's a long weekend. If you feel that a guest has maybe over imbibed, you can also call staff. You corner captains can also call staff, let us know that we might need to come over and help. Pouring staff, if you don't feel comfortable pouring for someone, let your corner captain know. They'll relay it to us. We'll come out and help you. You are not responsible for actually handling these people. We just want to make sure that you know that we are just a radio away. All weekend long, honestly, there will be staff buzzing around you at all times, but we are a radio call away if you need help, and the corner captain is the person to go to first. You're also going to keep an eye on pour levels. It is a fundraiser, a reminder. So as you are pouring, please be mindful of those 6 ounces for wine. Beer you can pour to the top. If someone comes to you with a wine glass and they want beer, pour to the top. If they come to you with a beer glass and they want beer, pour it to the top. You're going to get more if you have a 12-ounce cup versus a 9-ounce cup, obviously, but that's just kind of up to you as a guest. Our cups are free, so if someone wants a beer pour and they have a small glass, by all means, send them back over to the token booth to get a bigger cup. But we do need to make sure that those pour levels are being paid attention to. One, for the ABC, and also because it is a fundraiser, the Parks and Recreation Foundation purchases all of this beer and wine, and every penny that they make goes back to our parks and programs. They do a lot of amazing work funding things like our fee assistance program for kids and anyone really who needs some help paying for a class or a program. They're responsible for things like the new picnic tables at Burton Park. Really, I mean, they do a lot. If you look at a park and you think, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful, it is largely due to the work that the Parks and Recreation Foundation does. They're supporting the youth center now as well. So they do great work. We want to have them continue to do great work. And fundraisers like this are part of the reason why they can do that. So corner captains, keep an eye out. If you have a volunteer who's pouring for a friend and you can just tell that that was maybe a little bit of an overpour, talk to your volunteer first and then let us know if we need to step in.
Yes. There are 9-ounce cups and then there's 12-ounce cups. Let me see if I can open this.
Yep.
Oh, wait, can I? I think
Maybe.
that's it. Brenda, I can't see if there's another half of the question, but they're 9 ounces and then there's 12-ounce aluminum cups.
Oh, was there a question in the chat? I can't see those.
Oh my gosh, wait, sorry. Yes. Okay, 9-ounce and 12-ounce.
Awesome. And again, they're free. So if somebody chooses a 9-ounce cup first because they think they're going to be drinking wine most of the day and they come back and they want a different one, that's absolutely fine. And to be honest, if a kid comes up and they say, I need a cup for water, please give them the cup. If they don't have a wristband, they can't get a pour of alcohol. So it is absolutely fine. We have the cups. Let's use them. Oh, important. For the last, I think, 3 years now, we have been cashless at the token booths, and that has gone beautifully. We weren't really sure how that would go the first year. Hometown Days, like I said, has been around for 44 years, but there was no real pushback. So we are cashless. We have squares. You can tap. You can pay with a card. We try to make it easy for everybody. Certain vendors on the field will accept cash if you're buying from a marketplace vendor. It's entirely up to them how they want to accept payment, but we are cashless at the token booths. Thoughts or questions so far? All right. Let's talk about signs. We have a sign volunteer, at least the one last I checked, which is so exciting. We have a lot of signs at Hometown Days. Our feedback every year is that we can always use more signage. So guess what we did? We bought more signage. So we have a lot of A-frames to put out with information about bands, food vendors. We have our big, lovely, beautiful 60-inch signs that are on wheels that we place our event maps on. So we got a lot of signs and we need help putting them out. This is kind of our last big setup task before we are ready to like officially open, basically. So we want to make sure our signage is all out. So there's a decent amount of walking for sign volunteers, and there's some lifting because our A-frame signs are full of either water or sand and they get heavy. So to be able to lift, I'd say 20 pounds and walk around while holding those 20 pounds is important for sign volunteers. But it is super important and overlooked job, and we're happy to help. We have maps. You can ask us anything. We can always use more sign volunteers because we are always picking up new signs. Cleanup volunteers. We also love our cleanup volunteers. These are my children. Not my children, sorry. These are my cousin's kids because cleanup volunteers are hard to come by. So this is one of my favorite pictures because this was a Sunday morning, and they were my only 2 cleanup volunteers. So there were staff running around all morning and these 2 lovely ladies who were very helpful and who towel dried a whole bunch of chairs. We can always use more help cleaning up the park. It doesn't just mean picking up trash. It, especially in the morning, means wiping up condensation because that field gets wet even when it is not being watered. It means helping to fix tablecloths if they have come undone, or if maybe often the tablecloths on Sunday morning look a little worse for wear, so we replace them. We can always use more help with cleanup during the day, in the morning, at the end of the day. We can use more help. And these 2 kids are in Oregon now, so I can't rely on them anymore. Info booths?
All right. Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, the info booth is going to be, if you were there last year, it's going to be in the same spot. So directly in front of the youth center in that first parking spot, kind of next to the load-in zone. We will have a fun little flag on there this year, so you'll be able to identify it. We are changing it though from last year. And if you were in the info booth last year and you got some questions that you're like, oh, I don't know. We are trying to keep the info booth strictly Hometown Days related this year. So if anyone is coming to ask you questions about the sewer, or what else do we have going
Oh
on?
gosh, the downtown plan.
That are
That's
really,
on you.
don't you worry about that. You can send them to the city council booth where we will have information ready for them that they can, hopefully, council will be able to help them out with. So don't you worry about that. You are there only to help with either lost and found items. We'll have a bucket there where you can start collecting things and dropping them off, checking in volunteers.
Mhm.
And if you are currently in the info booth, you will be directing corner captains to head inside to pick up their radios. So they'll check in with you guys and then they'll get sent back inside to go get their radios so that they're all charged. What else? Volunteers will check in prior to their shifts, so just making sure you're giving them their name tags. We'll have Sharpies out there for you guys. And a full volunteer schedule we will have printed out and it will be on the table very big and large. As well as we'll have a version of the program essentially, but we'll make it a little bit more detailed for you guys so it's easier for people asking you guys questions. Any questions about that? Awesome.
All right.
Thank you. Ooh. I lied in the beginning, you guys. I'm sorry. There is one more new thing that I'm gonna say is new because it's not like last year. We are bringing back riding game wristbands, but different. And this is more of just like an informational for if anyone has questions for you guys. Last year they were 3 day only, but this year we have totally removed that and we are only doing single day ride wristbands. Each day will have its own color and its own design. So if a kid comes up on Friday with a, let's say, pink wristband, but pink is for Saturday, that is not valid. They do not get to use it. If they have an issue, that's a problem when you're gonna tell your corner captain or just radio to Tyler, myself, or Lauren. We will handle that. That's kind of a bigger issue, but don't even worry about that. This is more of an awareness. They're $50 for a single day, and you can buy them on site and the ticket booth. And we will have a designated lane for them. And if they purchase them online for pre-sale, they can also, we encourage them to pick them up on that designated lane so that it's like a speedy way of getting them if they already purchased.
Basically will call. And Heidi, yes, we are recording this. As difficult as it is to watch ourselves, but yes, we are recording it and we will post it. It sometimes can take a little bit to post because we have to wait until the entire recording downloads and then pop it up on YouTube. But as soon as it's available, we'll send out an email to the entire group of volunteers.
And then if anyone comes up to you about my wristband broke, send them our way as well.
Yes,
And no refunds,
correct.
send them our way as well.
And just to be completely clear, because this came up a lot last year, the wristbands are entirely optional. We are still relying by the vast majority on individual ticket sales. Those are $1 a piece, and we do take cash at the ticket booth. It's just easier for kids if you're coming up and your mom's giving you a $5 and you want 5 tickets, great. So entirely optional. If you have a wristband, great. If you don't have a wristband, we have tickets. Thoughts? Questions?
Awesome.
Petpalooza. Petpalooza is my, I shouldn't say favorite, but it's up there. I love Petpalooza. It's formerly the Pet Parade. Petpalooza is where San Carlos's most incredible pets come and show themselves off with their fantastic owners. The Petpalooza volunteers are responsible for helping us to set up the check-in area in the morning, helping to check in our cutest, best guests, and then helping to create the ring that they walk around. So certain volunteers also, if we're able to keep you, we'd love to have you man a corner of the ring. It's the best. Petpalooza is wonderful. We are fully staffed for Petpalooza volunteers. Thank you very much. Oh, and a remind, we actually could use a few more pets in the pet parade this year. So if you have a fantastic dog or the best cat in the world who is also very relaxed, or a bearded dragon, which is my dream to see at pet parade, please enter them. Last year we had a goat. That was incredible.
I would love to see a goat again. I missed it last year. So just throwing it out there.
If you have a cool pet, consider registering for the pet parade at Palooza. We'll talk fun run first, and then go back to pancake. The fun run is a time-honored tradition of Hometown Days. I don't know that the fun run has been around all 44 years, but every year, runners who are not planning to do Beta Breakers come to Hometown Days and do the fun run. So we're expecting a few hundred, at least, runners to come do either the 5K or 10K route. The route's a little different this year. I'll give you a teaser. We are allowing for same-day registration for the run. It's $45 a person for adults, $25 for kids under 17. You are welcome to run with a stroller. You are welcome to run with your friends. You're welcome to walk. Honestly, it's a fun run, and it's a really lovely way to start your Sunday morning of Hometown Days. The Fun Run volunteers will have radios. You'll meet at Central Middle School. You will not meet at the information booth, although if you come to the information booth, we'll redirect you. You'll meet at Central Middle School. You will liaise with Matt Okada from our Adult Community Center, who is super excited to be working on the Fun Run again this year. And you will either be helping to hand out medals, which are beautiful. We're very excited about the medals. Or manning a corner so that we have as safe as possible a run. Basically, we have sheriff's officers out also on the route, but we have volunteers at certain areas, certain corners, handing out waters or just helping to direct runners. So it's a super fun time. We have not had accidents in the last 2 years at least that I'm aware of. Thank you very much.
What?
Oh, yes.
What?
Oh, okay, not for us. And after the fun run, during and after the fun run, the Rotary Club hosts their pancake breakfast in Les Mendel Grove. Oh, awesome. Heidi, thank you. Please meet Matt Okada at Central Middle School parking lot. He will send out separate communication to you as well, just to make sure that you are in the loop. But you'll meet Matt at Central Middle School, and he will direct you. Matt and Caitlin will be there if you've been to the ACC. They're our ACC crew. And then we have our pancake breakfast volunteers. We have a couple. Awesome. Pancake breakfast volunteers are another shift we can always use more of because they feed a lot of people pancakes. You do not have to run in the fun run to benefit from the delicious pancakes that Rotary makes on Sunday morning. So for $10 per person, you go have a lovely pancake breakfast. I think they're doing sausages this year. There's always a fruit side. They're wonderful, and it all goes to a good cause. The funds go to Rotary. So we need help bussing tables because there are so many people who come and get pancakes that there's a lot of turnover, a lot of tablecloths that need help and even replacing during breakfast. So breakfast starts at 8:30, ends around 11, and volunteers ideally are there around 8 at the latest. And just in case you weren't aware, Les Mendel Grove is that picnic area right behind the youth center on Woodland. Parade volunteers. Chronologically, parade volunteers actually happen before our fun run volunteers because the parade is on Saturday morning, but we also can always use more help with the parade. So it's a huge parade. If you've seen it or participated, then you know the joke is that there are more people in the Hometown Days parade than watch the Hometown Days parade, which is kind of hard to believe when you see the crowds that come to watch the Hometown Days parade. So it's a big, big, big deal. We start the parade at Central Middle School at the parking lot. And when I say start, that's where everybody stages. So you'll see dignitaries and vehicles. Our new city manager will be in the parade this year. City Council will be in the parade. We have a couple of other government officials coming, and we have the best part, which are all of the groups that follow. So we have so many, there are student bands, there are local organizations. One Life Counseling always does a really cool float. Softball shows up in full force, pun intended. It's great. So the parade is really fun and takes a lot of wrangling. So our parade volunteers are either helping to stage everybody along Cedar Street, or they are helping to direct along the route, because the thing that starts to happen is that they start to get a little slower and a little slower and a little slower, and we want to make sure everybody's moving along at a good pace. We also have volunteers to help set up at the announcer stations, and we could use a couple more announcers if you're interested. Let me know. I think one or two, we will check. So we could always use more parade hands. We do have a few parade photographers signed up, and I'm thrilled about that because we want to make sure we have good photos of all of our groups. Super important. They'll be placed along the route. You're welcome to wander if you're a parade volunteer. Make sure you get good shots. If we have duplicate shots of duplicate groups, that's a great problem to have, to be honest. It's a huge parade. And our parade contact is Holly Gonzalez, who is out of town right now, but she's also hosting her own pre-parade call next week, and volunteers will be rolled into that call as well. So all of the info comes from Holly. Oh, wow.
That was
And
impressive.
Prom Days is over. Do we have, hold on, I'm gonna make this go away. I think successfully. Does anyone have questions or thoughts or really anything? Now is your time. I'm hoping that we covered most of it, and it's only 6:13, so we're still under an hour, which is the goal. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Wristbands, tokens, tickets? We are not, do not believe we have, oh my gosh, what's it called? Root beer coming from Devil's Canyon this year, so we won't have those non-alcoholic tickets. But every food booth also has drinks on site, plus Kiwanis. Anything else? All right. I think silence then means that you are totally ready, and that we are as well. We're really excited. The event's in 9 days, which is kind of crazy. So if you have questions in the meantime, please shoot us an email. Day of, we will have our phones on us, and I will tell you right now, texting during the event is best because it is loud. So we're not always going to be able to hear our phones. So send us a note if you have questions, if you're lost, if you are running late, let us know. But otherwise, we are so grateful to have you guys. Honestly, we could not do this without you. If you worked Hometown Days in 2022, you were part of a very small crew, and we are so much bigger now, and it has made the world so much better. So I cannot thank you guys enough. Oh, thanks, Heidi. All right. Have a lovely evening. See you next Friday.
See you guys next week. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.